William David Trimble, Baron Trimble, PC, is a British politician who was the First Minister of Northern Ireland from 1998 to 2002, and the leader of the Ulster Unionist Party from 1995 to 2005. He was also the Member of Parliament for Upper Bann from 1990 to 2005 and the Member of the Legislative Assembly for Upper Bann from 1998 to 2007. In 2006, he was made a life peer in the House of Lords and a year later left the UUP to join the Conservative Party. Lord Trimble began his career as a professor of law at the Queen's University of Belfast in the 1970s, during which time he began to get involved with the paramilitary-linked Vanguard Progressive Unionist Party. He was elected to the Northern Ireland Constitutional Convention in 1975, and joined the UUP in 1978 after the VPUP disbanded. Remaining at Queen's University, he continued his academic career until being elected as the MP for Upper Bann in 1990. In 1995 he was unexpectedly elected as the leader of the UUP. He was instrumental in the negotiations that led to the Good Friday Agreement in 1998, and won the Nobel Peace Prize that year for his efforts. He was later elected to become the First Minister of Northern Ireland, although his tenure was turbulent and frequently interrupted by disagreements over the extent of Provisional Irish Republican Army decommissioning. After being defeated at the 2005 general election, Trimble resigned the leadership of the UUP soon afterwards. In June 2006, he accepted a life peerage in the House of Lords, taking the title of Baron Trimble, of Lisnagarvey in the county of Antrim. He did not stand again for the Assembly, which finally reconvened in 2007, instead leaving the UUP to join the Conservative Party. Early life and education: Trimble was the son of William and Ivy Trimble, lower-middle-class Presbyterians who lived in Bangor, County Down. He attended Bangor Grammar School. Trimble's paternal grandfather George was a native of Longford. He then studied at Queen's University of Belfast from 1964 to 1968, where he was awarded the McCann Medal for Jurisprudence. He received a first-class honours degree, becoming a Bachelor of Laws. Early career Academic career Trimble qualified as a barrister in 1969. He began that year as a Queen's University of Belfast lecturer, subsequently becoming Assistant Dean of the Law Faculty from 1973–75, a senior lecturer in 1977, and head of the Department of Commercial and Property Law from 1981 to 1989. He resigned from the university in 1990 when he was elected to Parliament. In 1983, as he sat in his office at the university, he heard gunshots which turned out to be those of IRA killers of Edgar Graham, a friend and fellow law professor. He was asked to identify the body. In 1994 he himself was targeted for assassination. Political career Trimble became involved with the right-wing, paramilitary-linked Vanguard Progressive Unionist Party in the early 1970s. He ran unsuccessfully for the party in the 1973 Assembly election for North Down, coming last. In 1974, he was a legal advisor to the Ulster Workers' Council during the successful UWC strike against the Sunningdale Agreement. He was elected to the Northern Ireland Constitutional Convention in 1975 as a Vanguard member for Belfast South, and for a time he served as the party's joint deputy leader, along with the Ulster Defence Association's Glenn Barr. The party had been established by Bill Craig to oppose sharing power with Irish nationalists, and to prevent closer ties with the Republic of Ireland. However, Trimble was one of those to back Craig when the party split over Craig's proposal to allow voluntary power sharing with the SDLP. He joined the mainstream Ulster Unionist Party in 1978 after Vanguard disbanded, and was elected one of the four party secretaries. He served as vice-chairman of the Lagan Valley Unionist Association from 1980–85, and was named chairman in 1985. He served as chairman of the UUP Legal Committee from 1989–1995 and as honorary secretary of the Ulster Unionist Council in 1990–96. He was elected to Parliament with 58% of the vote in a by-election in Upper Bann in 1990. He was one of the few British politicians who urged support for the Islamic government of Bosnia and Herzegovina during the civil war in the 1990s. Leader of the Ulster Unionist Party, on September 8, 1995, Trimble unexpectedly won election as leader of the UUP, defeating the frontrunner John Taylor and 3 other candidates. Trimble's election as leader came in the aftermath of his role in the Drumcree conflict, in which he led a controversial 1995 Orange Order Protestant march, amidst nationalist protest, down the predominantly Roman Catholic nationalist Garvey Road in Portadown, County Armagh. Trimble and Democratic Unionist Party leader Ian Paisley walked hand in hand as the march, banned since 1997, proceeded down the road. Many Irish Catholics viewed it as insensitive, while many Protestants felt that it was a sign that Trimble was defending them. Shortly after the election, Trimble became the first UUP leader in 30 years to meet with the Taoiseach in Dublin. In 1997, he became the first Unionist leader since the partitioning of Ireland in 1922 to agree to negotiate with Sinn Féin copyright in. Later, in the all-party negotiations, he led the UUP delegation and sat at the table with Sinn Féin copyright in, though in the 8 months of the negotiations he never spoke directly to their leader, Gerry Adams. The talks were successful, culminating in the Belfast Agreement of April 10, 1998, which resulted in power sharing with nationalists. On May 22, 1998, voters in Northern Ireland approved the agreement, with 71% in favour. Trimble was appointed to the Privy Council of the United Kingdom in the 1998 New Year Honours. First Minister of Northern Ireland, Trimble at first opposed the appointment of former U.S. Senator George J. Mitchell as the chairman of multi-party talks, but eventually accepted him. The talks resulted in the Belfast Agreement of April 1998. Trimble was subsequently seen as instrumental in getting his party to accept the accord. Trimble was elected on June 25, 1998 as a member of the Northern Ireland Assembly for Upper Bann. He was elected First Minister of Northern Ireland on July 1, 1998. In October 1998, Trimble and John Hume were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts to find a peaceful solution to the conflict in Northern Ireland. The Nobel Institute noted, as the leader of the traditionally predominant party in Northern Ireland, David Trimble showed great political courage when, at a critical stage of the process, he advocated solutions which led to the Belfast Peace Agreement. Arguments over the extent of Provisional Irish Republican Army decommissioning led to repeated disruptions during Trimble's tenure as First Minister. In particular, the office of First Minister was suspended from February 11, 2000 to May 30, 2000. Trimble resigned as First Minister on July 1, 2001 due to the continuing impasse with regard to the IRA refusing his demands that it decommission its arms, as per the commitments all parties had signed up to in Section 7.3 of the 1998 Good Friday Agreement, but he was re-elected on November 5, 2001. The Assembly was suspended from October 14, 2002 until 2007 due to accusations of an IRA spy ring being operated there. In 1998, Tony Blair announced a new judicial inquiry, the Bloody Sunday Inquiry, into the killing of 14 unarmed civil rights marchers in Derry in 1972. A previous investigation, the Widgery Tribunal, into the same event had been discredited. During the debate in the House of Commons, Trimble was one of few dissenting voices. He said, "I am sorry to have to say to the Prime Minister that I think that the hope expressed by the member for Foyle that this will be part of the healing process is likely to be misplaced. Opening old wounds like this is likely to do more harm than good. The basic facts of the situation are known and not open to dispute." Reporting in 2010, the Civil Inquiry confirmed that all of the 14 killings and 13 woundings were unjustified. Peerage: at the general elections of 2005, Trimble was defeated by the Democratic Unionist Party's David Simpson in his bid for re-election to Parliament in Westminster. The Ulster Unionist Party retained only one seat in Parliament after the 2005 general election, and Trimble resigned the party leadership on May 7, 2005. On April 11, 2006, it was announced that Trimble would take a seat in the House of Lords as a working life peer, as an appointed members of the peerage whose title may not be inherited. On May 21, 2006 it was announced that he had chosen the geographical designation Lisnaghavi, the original name for his adopted hometown of Lisburn. Subsequently, on June 2, 2006, he was created Baron Trimble, of Lisnaghavi in the county of Antrim. On December 18, 2006, he announced that he would be standing down from the Northern Ireland Assembly at the next election. Trimble was named an honorary patron of the University Philosophical Society, Trinity College, Dublin. On April 17, 2007, Trimble announced he had decided to join the Conservative Party in order to have greater influence in politics in the United Kingdom. At the same time, however, he stated that he did not intend to campaign against the Ulster Unionist Party, and proposed the idea of a future alliance between the Conservatives and the Ulster Unionists, similar to that which had existed prior to 1974 and the fallout of the Sunningdale Agreement. This idea became reality with the formation of Ulster Conservatives and Unionists, a new force in late 2008. It was reported that if the Conservatives won the 2010 general election, Trimble would receive a significant ministerial role, possibly in the cabinet. In the event, however, Trimble was not offered any governmental or frontbench position following the formation of the Conservative Liberal Democrat coalition government. In May 2010, Trimble joined the Friends of Israel Initiative, a non-Jewish international project supporting Israel's right to exist. The initiative, started by former Prime Minister of Spain José María Aznar, also included former United States Ambassador to the United Nations John Bolton, British historian Andrew Roberts, and former Peruvian Alejandro Toledo. On January 29, 2013, Trimble and Aznar co-wrote an article in The Times condemning Hezbollah and calling on European governments to list it as a terrorist organization. Turkle Commission of Inquiry . On June 14, 2010, he was appointed as an observer to the Israeli Special Independent Public Turkle Commission of Inquiry into the Gaza flotilla raid. The commission investigated whether Israel's actions in preventing the arrival of ships in Gaza were in accordance with international law. It focused among other things on the security considerations for imposing a naval blockade on the Gaza Strip and the conformity of the naval blockade with the rules of international law. The conformity of the actions during the raid to principles of international law. And the actions taken by those who organized and participated in the flotilla, and their identities. On the commission were former Israeli Supreme Court Justice, Jacob Turkle, and former Technion University President, Amos Harev, as well two other members added in July 2010. In addition, the commission had two foreign observers, Trimble and former head of the Canadian military's judiciary, Judge Advocate General, Ken Watkin, who took part in hearings and discussions, but did not vote on the final conclusions. The panel, in January 2011, concluded both Israeli unregistered trademark naval blockade of Gaza and the interception of the flotilla were found to be legally pursuant to the rules of international law. Personal life. Trimble's first marriage, to Heather McCum in August 1968, ended in divorce in 1976. There were no children from his first marriage. Trimble married a former student, Daphne Elizabeth, in August 1978. They have two sons and two daughters. Lady Trimble served as a member of the Equality Commission for Northern Ireland, and later the Northern Ireland Human Rights Commission, before standing unsuccessfully in the UK parliamentary election of May 2010 for the UCUNF. His son Nicholas is active within the Ulster Unionist Party. He currently serves as secretary of the Ulster Unionist branch in Lisburn. Selected works. Books. To Raise Up a New Northern Ireland, Articles and Speeches 1998 to 2000, David Trimble, The Belfast Press, 2001. Articles. The Belfast Agreement, David Trimble, 22 Fordham International Law Journal 1145, 1998 to 99. See also, List of Northern Ireland Members of the House of Lords, List of Northern Ireland Members of the Privy Council. Notes and references. External links, David Trimble's official website, Hansard 1803 Euro 2005, Contributions in Parliament by David Trimble, Transforming Unionism, David Trimble and the General Election 2005, Irish Academic Press, 2005, ISBN 0-7165-3389-8, David Trimble, The Price of Peace, Frank Miller, Liffey Press, 2004, ISBN 1-904148-60-3, Himself Alone, David Trimble and the Ordeal of Unionism, Dean Godson, HarperCollins, 2004, ISBN 0-00-257098-X, Trimble, Henry MacDonald, Bloomsbury Publishing plc, 2001, ISBN 0-7475-5315-7, Northern Ireland Assembly Bio, Guardian Politics Ask Aristotle David Trimble, theyworkforyou.com David Trimble MP, Nobel Peace Prize for 1998 lecture by David Trimble, BBC News The Search for Peace, David Trimble, Maiden Speech, House of Commons May 23, 1990, Other Irish Nobel Winners, Appearances on C-SPAN.